Alrighty, guys, welcome back. First video with the webcam up, so we'll see how it goes. Today is Friday, the 23rd of July, 2021. SPY, another huge update, up 1%. Looking at the daily here, just ludicrous that we're at all-time highs once again. I think Q's the same thing. Just insane after the huge sell-off, just where we're at. I don't see anyone predicting accurately where this thing stops, where this thing continues to go, but I'm certainly waiting a long ride as it continues to run up. So some market internals for today. NASDAQ, total of $190 billion volume. Nice see. We have a total dollar volume of $250 billion. OTC markets, $2.5 billion. A little rise in there of like $500 million from the past few days. Interesting to see that. I got the opportunity to trade over in Scottsdale today, so no home-based trading for me, but still profitable day of $6. That's what we're looking for, baby. So first trade was on SCKT. Looking for any craziness, as you can see here on my two buys. Looking for like a dip and rip opportunity. Obviously trading this on the tick chart. Looking for a little bit of consolidation. Kind of found it in this. But then just cut it as it broke that 12.5 risk there. So interesting chart on that one. It was a pretty big mover in the after hours yesterday. Had it on watch coming into today and saw that it was continuing to obtain volume and move pretty hard. Total dollar volume today ended up being 591 million, which I would guess would be from how far off of VWAP it was and just how downtrending it was today. That's why I didn't push any harder, but the news from yesterday was second quarter earnings, of course, which is also why I even said it too, factoring it in. I'm not so huge on trying to attempt this one because it is earnings. It's not like a news pump or anything specific like that. Float on this one, 5.6 million, reported short interest of 2%. So, yeah, not a huge loss, but not a huge emotional start to the day either, just whatever. Next one was XBIO. No short setups either, but obviously I'll get into a few that I definitely would have been in had I been on it in the pre-market. XBIO, news of specific news headline here was, oh, that's right, they didn't have any specific news catalyst, but float of 7.8 million, reported short interest of 0.4%. I remember this former runner for some reason. I don't think I traded it at all. Yeah, this would have been way before I started trading. Here's what I'm looking for. Of these, I kind of remember this ticker from this specific day or just little flashes, not anything specifically hard on that. Let's look at this time frame. There we go. My computer is breathing like a dragon right now from working so hard. But anyway, I remember that ticker and then just kind of factored in, okay, low float. I would think like the small cap guys would definitely be on this one as it's gaining volume. So I initially saw it around this time frame, pulling up on my chart of moving a decent percentage, as you see 10% from open. I'm thinking, okay, so I think let's show my first trade. First trade on this was the best one of the move that I was looking for and the move that I got. So I'm kind of scaling in around this point of 243 if we come around here. So here's where we first see it. Okay, I'll take a chance on it. It's holding well above VWAP, putting in higher lows. Could be a little choppy, but whatever. I'll take a chance on it. And then we get some awesome perkage. I sell half of what that small position was, 60 shares in total. And a little bit of a dip under VWAP, but reclaim perfectly to break out to new highs. We get some more awesome opportunity to sell. Thought we were turning a little bit, so I took off the rest there on, yeah. What really should have been with that small of a position size should have been just way more speculative and degenerative of what I should have been trying to look for on that. But 3 coming from a max of 239, that would have been the average there. That we're hitting levels. I'm not going to complain at that type of price action. It's pretty awesome percentage move for that trade, but of course there was so much room. It didn't even break that hard for me to try to panic out of the trade or to take off that 30 shares with what should have been a lot more wiggle room for what I would have been feeling with that trade zone. But it's whatever. I was in a different situation and it was an awesome percentage move, so I'm not going to complain at it. Obviously, it came up a lot more, pulled back to VWAP a little bit, started testing and teasing around, and of course I was trading this once again on the tick setup, so you can see, yeah, I chopped in and out of this thing a lot of times. But this one, when it was coming back to VWAP after the pullback, I was looking to base my trade, this one specifically, off of when it was rising back above. I could see that it was just faking out a few little people here who maybe had their risk levels specifically at VWAP. You can see we dunked back under, but again, quickly pulled back up again. So that's why I got back in and took another little profitable trade, 10% on that one. Continued to move higher, but we didn't break any new high days. It didn't want to squeeze any more shorts. Let's get rid of those now. So yeah, I was just totally chopping in around this whole time, watching it like a hawk. And mainly I did that not focusing on the P&L or telling myself that I was really trading at that point, but just more so focused on wanting to feel and experience more being in these setups when they have those quick moves. This, sharp green move here, this sharp green move here, sharp red moves. It's not really about the money to me at that point. It's just more about, I want to see the key specific signs, like even watching something like the tick chart. We can see the level 2. We can know that this pattern is above VWAP, holding well with huge dollar volume size. 1.15 billion total dollar volume today, by the way, on that one too. But even more so, I'm just wanting to experience what is just that emotion, what is that feeling of being long and it just rises quick to new breakout highs and it continues to push, or what is the feeling of being long and the bottom just completely drops out. So that's what I was really chasing after with all of those trades you saw on there. But it ended up fading back under VWAP, teased again just a little bit more and kind of seeming like it was going to be a long trap and they would just like stuff randomly at some point, but it was just a hard fade the rest of the day. And this final last red candle dumping under VWAP was the nail in the coffin for the rest of the day. Shame to see on this Friday. Thought we would have seen more shorts trying to jump in or squeeze this thing higher, but it is what it is. Awesome dollar volume and awesome opportunity in the morning that I was super glad that I recognized and totally on top of it. I maybe looked at that as a Matt Monaco or a Bryce Toohey type of trade of recognizing the low float, recognizing, hey, this is kind of up on no news. I don't really see anything. Maybe this is pumped. Great risk reward opportunity if it wants to squeeze exactly like this. And yeah, my only problem with it was I took profits too early, which is a good problem to have. So awesome on XBIO. Other one was MDGS. So this one was the morning dump pattern that I missed. I was driving out to Scottsdale, of course. So I think I would have certainly been in on this one. And if I had been, of course, I would not have been stopped out at any point. So this was like the 7:50 Eastern Standard Time frame. Even if I had gotten a little aggressive with my entries for the shorts, I would not have been stopped out by a breaking of the risk high by a day and been in for a nice 10% plus opportunity in the morning. Maybe have been out selling into like this 166. I doubt it. I think I would have been holding, speculating a lot more for this one since it is an Israeli healthcare company. But great morning dump opportunity, would have been a huge winner nonetheless in the pre-market. Float of 23 million, short interest of 0.59% on the side, news catalyst of innovative proprietary technology found effective against coronavirus in preclinical study. So corona news, not COVID, not specifically the Delta variant coronavirus news, but still coronavirus news, but it's whatever. So then coming into the morning here, into market hours, we're seeing that, okay, price is actually reclaiming. There's a huge short squeeze around this time frame and then huge dump. So just choppy and indecisive price action, but you can see we're holding the higher lows. It's not really looking that weak. That is just going to continue to fade. So holding into the market open. Now we see a huge spike beyond those pre-market highs, which is a big indicator to say, okay, this thing definitely has some strength. It has just completely reclaimed that initial sell-off. And now, looking at this on the tick chart, now we're just looking for technical levels, seeing if there's anything to base ourselves off of for this thing could go parabolic. Looking at a daily time frame too, a little bit of overhead, but you can tell this thing has the potential just to get squeezy, get ludicrous. And shame to see too that on this huge volume day, we couldn't even come close to matching the width of these types of candles here on these days. Let's see, even wider time frame, even these days too, just insane. The type of volume it used to do, the type of wicks it used to create. Also noting too that looking back on the fundamentals, Chris actually looked up, just searched in warrants in the Edgar search bar and just popped up an insane list of warrants on this thing. So there's a huge amount of overhead looking to dump and cover on this type of thing. So a shame to see that it didn't want to continue. I think if we pull up my exact trades here, if they want to pop up, come on, you can do it. Oh, what just happened? Oh, well, that's fun. Okay. Are you going to do that for... What? How about let's take that off. What? I have never seen this. All right, apologize for the technical difficulties. So we might have to cut this short. Well, let's just look at the charts anyway here on Scans. So that was it on MDGS. This is a great start for the first webcam video. MDGS obviously holding, I think I got in somewhere around this level for a long trade. It was testing and looking pretty good, and still even at this point, as we're kind of like wedging here at this point, it could have gone either way, but it ended up dumping after we up, and that was a sign to finally get out. So I think Chris traded that as well for a little bit of a profit. He had a nice average from like 201 area, but it just didn't want to. Tried again near the end of the day, but ultimately rejected at that VWAP point. HDVY was an OTC looking for a dip buy from its big movement yesterday. Just didn't do it, just skirted around. $3.3 million volume on that one. And then I kind of randomly pulled up MOXC. I just had it randomly on my chart. I didn't even scan for this, but 37% down day. I mean, look at the daily on this one. That is pretty insane. I don't see any news here on the 23rd. Just kind of out of nowhere. 37% down day. Interesting. Whatever. Apologize about the technical difficulties. Thank you guys for watching. We will catch you on the next one.